Let's begin today talking about cocaine orgies in the House of Representatives, starring our good friend, Hell on Wheels himself, Madison Cawthorn. Madison, he did a no-no and a no-growth, and that was basically Madison Cawthorn fucked up because he started talking about all the decadent drug-fueled sex parties of the Republicans, and that's a no-no. You only do that about that's only for Hollywood and the Democrats. Republicans don't do that stuff. So when you go on a podcast mouthing off about how people do cocaine in front of you and invite you to orgies, you're going to get some get back. And House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, he whacked him down pretty hard. And he said Madison doesn't even know what cocaine is, which I thought was a really funny way of diffusing this situation. Madison did know what a key bump was, though. He doesn't know what cocaine is, but he said people do key bumps in front of him. Now, I don't know. Like, I have my own theories about what's going on here. Maybe you guys can fill in the gaps here. But I think this is an example of Madison was engaging, and he was Team Cap on this one. He wanted to sound cool on a podcast, and he wanted to tell cool stories. But in capping, I think he accidentally revealed too much truth about what actually goes on in DC.
Yeah,
because it's hard for me to imagine people in DC doing things that are fun and cool. But the thing is, they feel entitled to it because they like to think of themselves as masters of the universe. So they get a low rent version of what people in Hollywood and Wall Street do. They need a little bit of that decadence for themselves. And I don't think anyone invited Madison Cawthorn to any orgies because let's be honest, what the fuck is he going to do? Just watch. Get top. I do think he's a cokehead, but So let me just see. This is Chris Cillizza writing in CNN. There's really only one question these days for North Carolina Representative Madison Cawthorn: who? As in, who are the people that allegedly invited the Republican congressman to orgies in Washington, and who are the people he allegedly witnessed doing cocaine? Cawthorn's allegations resulted in House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and House Minority Whip Steve Scalise calling him into a meeting Wednesday. I'm very disappointed. I told him he's lost my trust, McCarthy said after the meeting, according to CNN's Melanie Zanora. He has lost my trust. He's going to have to earn it back. What I think is funny about that is that none of the shit that Madison Cawthorn said leading up to this dinged McCarthy's trust in him one iota. But no, it's the cocaine orgy thing that's landed him in hot water.
I saw that people are supporting a primary challenger against him over this.
Yeah.
He really stepped in it. This is the one thing you can't do is talk about the gross leathery sex parties with a 70-1 male to female ratio that these guys are assuredly doing. It's not an Eiffel Tower. It would be a convention center, I guess is the best you could
the Coliseum.
Describe that. Yeah.
And no, it actually the other guy hilariously the other political figure coming to Cawthorn's defense and saying that he didn't walk back his statement about cocaine orgies was Roger Stone, the guy who's probably been arranging these cocaine orgies for God knows how long. Roger Stone's been finding ex-cops and military guys off Craigslist to fuck his wife for 30 years now.
I have to say, for Kevin McCarthy, if you didn't want people to think that this was real, you wouldn't go through the trouble of threatening his committee assignments and making everyone see that you made him cry when you spoke with him.
Okay, that was insane. You saw that picture of him just rolling out of the meeting. His face looked totally different. It was a clone. They cloned him.
Yeah, they took him in there. They gave him the Chigurh bolt gun to the eyebrow, and then they put in one of the clone that they had already there. There's a clone for all of these guys underneath the Capitol, and as soon as one of them fucks up, they fucking take him out and they pop this out there, and then they just roll. He had the goo still on him. He was fresh with vat goo.
He had the amniotic fluid still on him, and it looked like he was crying, but no, that was just the vat he came out of. But yeah, going on here.
He muzzled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Cawthorn.
McCarthy also said that when pressed, Cawthorn basically admitted he either exaggerated or made up the allegations. He did not tell the truth. That's unacceptable, said McCarthy. Cawthorn has still has not commented publicly on the remarks he made in an interview with the Warrior Poet Society podcast recently. In case you
Can
missed,
you imagine? Yeah, because he like made that shit up just to make those guys think he was cool.
yeah, the Warrior Poet Society. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he was trying to sound cool to the. I mean, come on, a warrior and a poet. Those are the two coolest things you can be.
That's
And
like
honestly,
both, that's like both things that Jet Li is in Hero.
Yeah,
And that's why these guys, the elected wedge of the ultra right that's trying to take over the party, will always be losers and will never succeed, because at the end of the day, they are deeply beholden to what fucking podcasters think of them. And as we can tell you, that is not a recipe for electoral political success.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the lefty equivalents of those. Nowhere now.
I'm going to say, in case you missed what Cawthorne originally said, here it is. He goes, the sexual perversion that goes on in Washington, being kind of a young guy in Washington where the average age is probably 60 or 70, you look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics. Then all of a sudden you get invited. We're going to have a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. It's a sexual get-together. We're gonna have a
very sexual get-together.
We're gonna have a sexual-style brunch at my house in Georgetown. Madison, we'd love it if you attended. He goes here. We're going to have a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. What did you just ask me to come to? And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Some of the people leading on the movement to try to remove addiction in our country, and then you watch them do a key bump of cocaine right in front of you, and it's like, this is wild.
Actually, Madison, if they're doing key bumps, it shows that they are aware of the problem of addiction, and they're being moderate in their imbibing. Yeah. You should applaud them for it.
Who do we think? Who do we think was hosting the sexual get-together, and who do we think was doing coke in front of him? Because he did it. We think that there's some element of cap here, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
But again, the McCarthy reaction is such that there's something there.
Oh yeah.
No, I think they're probably they had a meeting when he was elected, and they were like, don't invite this blabbermouth to any of our cocaine.
Yeah.
Meetings. And then he just capped about it, and he accidentally revealed the truth about what they get up to. And I think the guys leading these orgies are probably Kevin McCarthy and Steve Scalise. Well, Steve Scalise's got to remove his shit bag before he, takes part in any of the fun.
He can still do cocaine, but allegedly,
he puts it in his through a catheter.
According to some rumors, would not have the necessary equipment for the orgy. He could possibly go around eating everyone's pussy. Who knows? That is what I've heard.
But the thing though is I know the right, the right wing in this country, they have a reputation as being prudes and fucking they not liking to party. But I mean, these guys are all fucking demons. I mean, they love to party. They love drugs. They love fucking orgies. They love doing gay shit. They love doing. It's a group grope, Bob. Madison, is that your finger up my asshole?
Yeah, what, they don't believe in anything, so what the hell are they there for?
No, it's they have money and power, and with money and power comes the freedom to engage in things that you punish other people for.
Absolutely.
It's the righteous man has to project as long as you advertise a virtuous style of life to the peons that you're fleecing every day, that is what gives you permission to engage in all of the sick and decadent activities you accuse other people of doing. Just continuing with Saliza here. He says, this is a very big allegation to make without naming any names. I love Saliza's just he doesn't care about the allegation. He's like, just give me the names. Give me their phone number.
I want to be able to rank the fuck styles of Washington's biggest perverts.
Can you imagine being in an orgy and seeing Chuck Grassley there?
Oh my God. Imagine you go to a big, what's that? Capitol Grill. You go to Capitol Grill, you eat 37 ounces of porterhouse. Some guys are passing you a vial. You do a few bumps of 58% purity cocaine in the bathroom. You're feeling terrible. And then they're like, oh, but there's a second act. And you go upstairs to one of those hotel suites that has a living room and everything. And Clay Higgins pops out of a birthday cake.
Come and get it, boys. I'm ringing. He ringing the dinner bell with his old dangus.
We're gonna make a big old roux in my asshole tonight.
Those are probably the best orgies of all time because 98% of the participants ate 4 pounds of beef before.
Yeah. None of them have shit in at least a month.
He goes, Chris Liza says, that's not just my opinion either. Here's North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis on Cawthorn's claims. I thought about the statement. If it's true, then he's got a lot of information to reveal. If it's not true, then he's guilty of being untruthful. And here's North Carolina's other Republican Senator, Richard Burr, when asked about Cawthorn's job performance. That's for his constituents to figure out, but clearly he's been an embarrassment at times. Burr and Tillis were far from alone in expressing concerns. Zanona also noted that House Republicans complained about Cawthorn's remarks during a closed-door session on Tuesday. GOP lawmakers said his comments were upsetting and harmful and complained they were now receiving questions from constituents about it. They also said if his comments are true, then he needs to name names because otherwise it unfairly maligns the entire institution.
Where are these parties? I need to know.
Yes,
I have not been getting invited. This fucking sucks.
This seems so like Tillis and Burr, they've been at odds with the more Trump wing, the wing that Cawthorn more represents. And this does seem like the revenge of the empire right here. They really got him because most of the time, like, yeah, the right of the Republican Party, the insurgent right, the Trump side, they're mostly losers outside of Trump. They can't command the same bag of potatoes, Louis Napoleon's bag of potatoes that Trump can.
Yeah.
No one fears them in the same way, but they're staying put for now. But this seems like the first thing that one of them has done that has genuinely angered Republican leadership.
Yeah, like they can go to the Nazi rallies all they want. Who cares?
Yeah.
But you getting grandmas in my district calling me and wanting to know, if I'm doing poppers with Mo Brooks. That's too far.
To recap, Cawthorn was charged earlier this month for driving with a revoked driver's license for the second time in 5 years. Boy, this guy loves driving cars. God, and he's so good at it, too. He goes, he recently was recorded on video calling Ukrainian President Zelensky a thug and the Ukrainian government incredibly evil. And last year, CNN reported on allegations of sexual misconduct women made against Cawthorn stemming from his time in college. Cawthorn has denied any wrongdoing. And remember, Cawthorn has been in Congress less than 2 years. Tillis put it best when asked about Cawthorn's allegations of orgies and cocaine use. I thought it was a silly statement, and it's not the first one. But, when you know what, Roger Stone has come to his defense, which is like, if you got Stone in your corner, then, you're getting an invite to an orgy. Stone is going to be pushing his wheelchair in and out of his wife. He's like, Roger, slow down. I can't take it. Shut up, Madison. He's putting the brakes on his wheelchair. Get him to stop. Oh, man. Like, that picture of him coming out of the meeting was something else, though. That was like...
He was definitely crying.
What a fucking pussy. I can't believe... are these Trump guys for real or not? Because, what he could have just made up some names of guys he doesn't like in the GOP. No one cares.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, he's also stupid. He could have said Richard Burr, and the Trump people already hate Burr, and Burr already had that insider trading thing going against him.
Yeah, these guys, they saw an easy way in. But what that means is that they're addicted to that, and when they face any adversity, they just completely fucking collapse.
Yeah, they cannot stand the heat of the crowd booing them, which makes it so that they're not Trump. One of the many things that makes them not Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Democrats have cocaine orgies in Washington, D.C., or are they just not cool enough? They probably used to, but I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
I think everyone does. I think everyone, any powerful person does do some gross sex thing and, probably do cocaine all for the same reason, which is not that they like it, but to show people that they want to bring... They want to show people who are outside that they want to bring in, that they trust them to some extent, which I think is what a lot of this stuff is.
Right, like how they got somebody wants to buy drugs from you, they got to do it in front of you to prove they're not a cop.
Yeah, but I also, I don't know. This whole story made me think of people I know who have done orgies and thought that their life had to a part of their life and a part of their identity had to be like doing orgies and shit like that. And it's always either been people with like a deep spiritual yearning, just like, you know, they hit their late 20s or 30s and they're like, there's got to be more than this. Or it's just, it's people who think they deserve it, which I think is the case in DC. They like just think they deserve it.
Chuck Grassley does deserve it, though. Come on.
Yeah, true.
He does. He deserves everything. He's at the DQ.
For you know what?
They're having an orgy with a butter cow. They're all just fucking the butter cow at the Iowa State Fair.
I mean, I definitely think it goes on, and I think, like, I don't know. I don't want Steny Hoyer to be doing orgies, but I could see him doing it because it's like, oh yeah, I deserve this, and if I let you into this shows that like I implicitly trust you, and you're gonna also do all the evil things that like a Democratic or Republican higher up will do.
Yeah, like I mean, like don't even think about voting for lowering prescription drug prices, or else this shit is gonna come out. Hey, you remember the DC Madam story and that guy David Bitter and his diaper fetish? Remember how she killed herself like a week before she was going to testify?
Yeah, that's true. That did happen.